If you're struggling to craft an offer that truly stands out, this is going to be one of the most important exercises that you can go through. And that's exactly what we are going to go ahead and cover in this video. In this video, I'm going to go ahead and walk you step by step through the operational bottleneck exercise. This is a proven framework that will allow you to build a high leverage, irresistible offer within any niche. You will learn how to identify real pain points, come up with solutions that your clients actually need, and layer it with upsells that multiply your revenue without adding any additional work. Now, this entire breakdown and all the documents I'm going to share with you in this video is just one of many inside our free school community. In there, you will find over 50 videos, proven frameworks, and SOPs on exactly how you can go ahead and build an AI business. The link for that is going to be linked down below. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this video. So the operational bottleneck exercise to building an irresistible offer within any niche. Your offer and how it's positioned is often the number one reason someone will consider jumping on a call with you, let alone becoming a paying client. And in the next few minutes, we're going to go ahead and break down exactly how you can go ahead and craft a no-brainer offer that not only stands out, but will allow you to confidently charge 3 to 5 times more than your competitors, while at the same time having clients willingly work with you. So in this video, we're going to go ahead and go over a few things. The first thing we're going to go over is how Alex Hormozi used the same exact growth partner model that I'm going to go ahead and break down for you in this video to scaling GymLaunch to about $4.4 a month in MRR and was able to exit for around 46 million. Literally the same exact protocols that we're going to be talking about here, he went ahead and applied to his GymLaunch business. We'll also go ahead and cover how to craft an offer around operational bottlenecks that your niche is facing. We're going to go ahead and touch on layering a monthly revenue, MRR, using the DSUS model. We'll go ahead and talk about how to complete the offer building exercise using a ChatGPT prompt that we'll provide to you. We'll go ahead and give you access to this ChatGPT prompt, which will allow you to go ahead and come up with the operational bottlenecks that your niche has, which is going to be the foundation of you figuring out what services and how to craft your offer. And lastly, we'll go ahead and give you a framework on how to think through the structure for your offer creation. We'll walk you through it step by step. So I hope you can watch this video in its entirety because I promise it will be one of the most valuable videos that you'll watch when it comes to building an irresistible no-brainer offer. So let's first talk about Alex Hormozi and how he's applied the same growth partner model to his business GymLaunch. So before we actually dive into this, we're going to go over GymLaunch and how they did around $4.4 million a month in MRR. Was able to exit for 46 million using the same exact framework. So to give you some context, Alex Hormozi, for GymLaunch, they were in the micro niche. And these are essentially facilities that have a maximum of 100 to 200 members max. They're smaller gyms, unlike the big gyms like Gold's Gym, 24-hour fitness, so on and so forth. Now, contrary to popular beliefs, these gyms are actually not profitable. And even at full capacity, they would be capped at around $10,000 to $20,000 a month. And that's before accounting for rent, payroll, and other expenses. So you see, the problem that these gyms faced wasn't necessarily lack of leads, even though not all of them had full capacity. Some of them still needed leads, and they thought that that's their issue. But the issue is the business model itself, because even at full capacity, the max they can make is $10K to $20K because they're only charging $100 a month. Charging $100 a month limits how much they can earn, no matter how many members they signed up. For example, if a gym is at full capacity at 200 members, you do that by $100 a month is what they would be offering. That comes out to $20,000, and that's revenue, not profit. So what did Alex do? Well, because he had his own gyms and he realized, like, I'm not going to get rich just making $20,000 before payroll, taxes, rent, and all that. So I need to change my model. So what he did is he created a different offer, and that's exactly what he did to the gyms he was working with. So what Alex did was essentially restructure the front-end offer. And aside from all the protocols that we're going to mention in the growth partner model, what he did was restructure the front-end offer. So over here, they were charging $100. Well, what he did is he introduced a $600 offer, and this was a challenge, and they would charge this up front. So what this did is allow gyms to charge more in 30 days than they did the whole entire year. Right? It allowed them to earn more in 30 days than they did the whole entire year. So over here, they would do $100 a month and maybe like a 30-day free trial. Well, what Alex did was like, how about we charge $600 up front, have it be a challenge offer, and that already was more money in 30 days than the entire gym made in the whole year. This simple change in upfront offer completely transformed their cash flow business. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the Alex Hormozi ad right now, but this is going to give you context as to how all of this that I'm going to go ahead and speak about work. So let's go ahead and take a look at the GymLaunch offer and how, as a growth partner, which, by the way, if you need to understand exactly what a growth partner is, I would recommend that you check out the video linked down below, or will be in our school community inside the free course. If you don't understand what the growth partner model is, all of this won't make as much sense to you. In short, the growth partner model is when you go into a business and you help them solve for all the problems and inefficiencies they have. You see, what most agencies do is they have a commodity offer, like the traditional marketing agency, which is like, we're going to offer you paid ads, or we're going to offer you web design, or we're going to offer you social media management. Well, you see, you could be the best paid ads person, but if, in this example, perfect example, if you're working with gyms and you're just generating them leads, well, the issue these guys have wasn't that they need more leads. The issue that they had was their front-end offer. They're only charging $100 a month. So as a growth partner, you need to identify what is all the steps that I need to do to make these people more money. In Alex's case, one of the things, which, as I said here, aside from the protocols that we're going to mention, one of the things was changing their front-end offer, okay? So as a growth partner, what you are doing is you are going into a business and you are figuring out all the bottlenecks that they have and then solving for all those bottlenecks, okay? And we're going to go ahead and cover exactly how you can do that in this video, even if you don't have much experience about the niche. So now that that gives you context, let's take a look at this real quick. Let's go ahead and raise the volume, and I hope you can hear this, so let's see.
Experienced fitness professionals, we've got tons of questions about our new performance partnership model. We're taking people online, all right? It's very simple. We do just about everything, you do one thing, and we split how much you make on the first month. It's very easy. So we'll run the creative, the ads, the copy, the images. We'll build the pages to collect the opt-ins. We'll get them scheduled, and then we'll continue to work the leads to get them to show up for a phone appointment with you. This is the only piece that you do, which is sell them a free trial. After you do that, we split this first month. From this point going forward, you get every single one of the billings after that. Sound fair? Now on top of that, you might be like, how do I actually fulfill these people? How do I know they're going to stay? How does it work? We built an automated fulfillment system where 80% of all of this is automated. So the workouts, the nutrition, the accountability, the messages, all of that is self-contained in one single app. All you have to do is respond if someone has a question. That's it. But everything has already been pre-tailored.
So do you guys see that? What he literally says here is like, hey, we're going to do everything and you do just one thing. We're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. He solved for all the inefficiencies that that business had, okay? Which is why, as we go into this now, he was able to charge $1,600 up front. So let's take a look at this. This is the GymLaunch offer, the ad that I just showed you right now. And this ad was, believe it or not, even though he was charging far more than everybody else, it was the most attractive offer in the marketplace. And why is that? Well, that's because of the speed of the results. Alex Hormozi was able to get these gyms the fastest results possible compared to anyone else because he did everything that is needed to actually get that desired outcome. Versus saying, I'm going to run the ads, but I need you to build a landing page, and I need you to do this, and I need you to make sure you message people and put together the meal plan and come up with a new offer. No, he did everything, as you mentioned in the beginning of the video. We're going to do everything, and you do one thing. Let's just play the beginning part real quick.
All right, it's very simple. We do just about everything, you do one thing.
We do just about everything, you do one thing, okay? Because he was doing that, he can charge a lot up front. Okay, so he had the most attractive offer in the marketplace because of the speed of the results. And because of that, he was not a commodity. He was a growth partner. He was not like the traditional agencies that are going to say, we're going to run ads for you. Instead, he said, we're going to come into the business and we're going to literally solve for every single problem. And because of that, we can charge $16,000 up front. So because of this, he can charge, again, high ticket. And when you're charging high ticket, what did that give him? That gave him leverage. That gave him leverage when it comes to fulfillment. He was able to hire the best people to fulfill their results, to research what they need to do to actually get this gym the best results possible. Imagine if you're charging $2,000. You can't hire the best people to fulfill these services. But if you're charging, in this example, $16,000, you can. Okay, so charging high price gave him leverage, and because he had leverage, he got the best results in the industry. He got the best results in the industry because he's doing all the work himself, so he can get them results in a faster period of time, and he had great talent to fulfill these results. Now, because he can get these best results in the industry, this allowed him to get more clients. If it's working for one person, it's going to work for the next person. He was able to build solid case studies. He was able to go to people and say, look, we did it for this gym in 1 month, more they did in 30 days. So more people would come on board. So he had leverage in the fact that he can get more clients. He had better insights. Because if he did it for one gym, he could replicate the same for another and figure out what's working and what's not. And overall, he just had more leverage. So this is Alex Hormozi, okay? And this thing just repeated itself. And this is how he was able to do 4.4 million. We'll talk about how he added an MRR and how we're gonna go ahead and follow that same protocol, the DCIS model, which is downselling the upsell, and then how he was able to exit for 46 million, right? He was not going to be able to sell his agency for 46 million if he was just doing lead gen, if he was just offering the business leads. Because as we have established here, the problem with these gyms wasn't lack of leads. It was in the entire business model itself. So Alex came in and changed the whole front end offer. Okay, so you see guys, GymLaunch created their own blue ocean. Imagine if you were an agency trying to compete with GymLaunch at that time, charging $2,000 to help Gym get more leads, who were not even profitable. And the biggest problem they had wasn't necessarily getting more clients. The problem they had was the model itself, not just acquiring more clients. The entire foundation was broken. Imagine if you were trying to compete with Alex Hormozi in those days. You wouldn't have been able to. Well, imagine if you implement everything that I'm teaching you in this video, and imagine the other people that are going through a traditional course that teaches them their traditional SMA model. They will not be able to compete with you, just like people weren't able to compete with Alex Hormozi. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about how to actually craft this offer as an AI growth consultant. So everything that Alex did, we're doing the same thing. The only difference is that we're incorporating AI into this, right? We're an AI first agency, which is why I don't want you guys to think that like AI agency, you're just offering chatbots. No, if you have to offer paid ads, do it, right? Because as a growth partner, you're using AI as just one of the mechanisms. Doesn't mean that everything has to be done with AI. AI is just, you're an AI first agency, meaning you leverage AI within your fulfillment. So let's talk about this, the operational bottleneck exercise. What you guys are going to do is, first of all, you're gonna get access to this document, which again will be available in our free school community, okay? We also have an example here of it filled out. And what you're gonna do is, you're gonna make a list of all the operational bottlenecks that can potentially keep your clients from getting the results that they want. So that's gonna be over here. You're gonna list out all the operational bottlenecks. And then on the column right next to it, you're gonna go ahead and list out the mechanism that will help alleviate this bottleneck, right? So what is the mechanism that you can have here to solve for this bottleneck? These are things such as like, what are the automations, the tools, the process that we can put in place to solve for this bottleneck? And then over here on the right-hand side, you have the tools and tech stack. You can call this your AI playbook. What are the tools that you're going to use to go ahead and deliver on this mechanism? And then the implementation model. So we're going to briefly give you guys an overview of this, okay? Here you can see implementation model. Let's go ahead and look at an example, and we'll go over this in more detail in a bit. But here you have your operational bottleneck. These are all the scenarios that would keep a dental clinic from seeing the results that they want. So operational bottlenecks that they will face. This is the mechanism to solve for these bottlenecks. This is the tools and tech stack, and then this is the implementation model. And I use the example here for a dental clinic. This exact document will be there so that you can get an idea of how this works. When it comes to the implementation model, this really just means like, how are you delivering it? Are you delivering it consulting, done for you, or done with you? So we'll go over this in a bit more detail. But what this exercise will allow you to do is it will outline the operational bottlenecks that your niche faces. If you're going into a niche and you don't know the problems that they face, well, this exercise will help you understand exactly what those problems are. It'll also highlight and outline to you the mechanisms that you can use to avoid these problems. So if someone has an issue here, what are the mechanisms in place to solve or prevent these bottlenecks? Then you have, it will also go ahead and allow you to clearly outline the tools and tech stack. This is your AI playbook. Once you've understood this, you're like, okay, what tools do I need to use? So for missed inbound calls, what can you do here? Well, you can install an AI inbound agent to answer the phone 24/7. Okay, what software? What is my tool stack that am I going to use? Well, you can use retail AI and go high level. So here you're just listing out the AI playbook, the tools, the tech stack that you can go ahead and use. And then lastly is going to be the implementation model, which is done for you, done with you, or consulting. How do you plan on delivering on this model? That's what goes here, okay? So we'll go over all that in more detail, and the link for that sheet is going to be down below. And then using ChatGPT to support your research. So if you have zero experience in your niche, that's fine. What you can do is you can use ChatGPT to help you complete the sheet. Just use the prompt link below, replace the bracket section with your info, and you'll be able to fill it out. So in the example of a dental clinic here, you probably are like, okay, well, I have no experience when it comes to dental clinics or roofers or whatever your niche is. Well, what you can do is you can go ahead and use this ChatGPT prompt, change the things that are in bracket, like this stuff right here, and upload this to ChatGPT, and it will go ahead and give you the answer. So if we take a look at this, we says, I want you to create a 4-column section map like the one shown below. You can add a screenshot of this right here. Tailored to my niche and my services, this will help me clearly communicate the value I'm offering by providing real business problems using AI, solving real business problems using AI. So over here you have the operational area, operational bottleneck, like failure scenarios that they will have, common operational problems my niche faces. Here you have the mechanisms to avoid. Here you have the AI playbook, and then here you're like, please format this 4-column and base the failure scenario, or in this case, the operational bottleneck, on my niche and offer. So here you're going to type your niche. If your niche is roofing, you'll simply just write roofing. If your niche is, if your services, here you just add your offer, your services. Okay, like what tools can you use? What are you offering? Well, if you know, okay, I'm going to do voice agents, chatbots, paid ads, and CRM, list that here. And then once you hit enter, it's going to go ahead and give you something that looks like this. So let's take a look at a few. This is the same exact prompt that I used to come up with this right here. And you can see here, for a dental clinic, some issues they might have is missed inbound calls. So, a business is going to get a lot of missed inbound calls. So what can you do here? Well, you can install an AI voice agent. Here you're going to use retail, go high level, and this is completely done for you, meaning the client, we don't need the client for anything. We're going to completely do it for them. Another problem they have is no-shows. So there's a lot of businesses, in this case dental clinics, where clients just don't show up. Well, what can you do here? Well, you can add automated reminders, VA follow-up workflow for confirmation. So put together automation reminders, and then also have a workflow for the VA to follow up with these people. For this, your tools and test stack, you're going to need Go High Level, Notion, and something like ClickUp. Then you have another one, leads not being followed up with. Okay, there's a lot of leads that are not being followed up with. Well, you can go ahead and create a pipeline inside a CRM, and then automate triggers without alerting system. So you can see here, these are all of the issues that a client will face, and then we go ahead and solve for them. And again, even though you're an AI agency, I don't want you to think you're just doing voice agents and chatbots, because, for example, you can install a voice agent or a chatbot. Well, what if they have, let's say in this example, front desk overload? What if they have their front desk is not performing the way it should be? Well, in this case, you can implement AI voice agent. You can build something like that. But then you might need to have some Slack integration and a VA support, right? You might need to have the VA still there, hire a VA for them to make sure that they're managing the voice agent, making sure that communications are not being lost within within the steps. Let's take a look at something else, right? Insurance, paperwork, bottlenecks. So maybe a dental clinic is having problems when it comes to collecting insurance information for their clients. Well, what you can do here is you can solve for that. Put together some SOPs, put together AI form automations for patient, like an intake form, right? And you can do this in the form of consulting. Just tell them, give them a document that has the SOPs, all right? Or you can do it done for you or done with you, whatever you would like. But the idea here is that you can see we are not just offering AI solutions, we are solving for the entire gap, where the client is, where they want to be, whatever the problems that they have, we solve for them. That's exactly what Alex Hormozi did with this gyms. And that's exactly why he was able to charge $16,000 up front. It's exactly why we can charge anywhere from $4,000 to $18,000 working with our clients, because we go in and we solve for this entire gap. Everything that they need to go from where they are to where they want to be, okay? So that's exactly how you're going to go ahead and fill this out and how you're going to use ChatGPT to do so. I would still highly recommend that you don't rely on everything ChatGPT says. You actually go through this process yourself. But then also at the same time, if you know people within your niche, like maybe your dad might be a dentist, or you have friends in real estate if that's your niche, talk to these people and really understand the problems that they face. You don't want to rely 100% on ChatGPT. Nonetheless, let's move on to the next thing, which is the DCIS model. So we mentioned in the beginning of this video that we're going to show you how to add MRR to your business, okay? And let's go ahead and show you exactly how we're doing that, how Alex Hormozi did this, and how I would say probably just 1% of businesses are doing this. So Alex Hormozi was able to do $1.6 million a month in MRR using the same exact protocol. I think all of his business together, he was doing around 4 million, but nonetheless, so this is the DCIS model, and we actually cover it in more detail in another video inside our school community. So if you want to go over that in detail, I believe it's like a 30-minute recording, please check out the video inside our free school community. But here's the idea with this DCIS model. First of all, it's downsell the upsell. Most people charge you, let's say $15, and then they try to upsell you to their high ticket. Well, what we're doing here is we're downselling them the upsell. In the case of Alex Hormozi, he was charging 16 grand upfront, and then he would charge them 3,200 as the downsell. So it's literally the exact opposite of what most businesses do. So let's talk about that. So Alex, solving the main problems for gyms, created other problems. What do we mean by that? Well, Alex Hormozi, he was doing everything for the businesses. And after he did everything and generated them the revenue, now they have this machine that they essentially don't know how to run. They don't know how to run ads. They don't know how to tweak the ads, right? Maybe they're not as experienced on running ads as they would like to wish to be. So what Alex did was he sold them insights for literally $3,200. Hey, I'm gonna show you what are the best performing ads, just pay me $3,200 a month. And who do you think these clients would work with, Alex or someone else, especially if he just generated them more money in 30 days than they did in 12 months? Of course they would work with Alex, right? And that's exactly how he did it. This is exactly what it looks like, okay? He was getting about 500 gyms to pay him $3.2 thousand a month, which is about 1.6 million MRR. So he created like this program or this offer called GymLaunch, and this is for all the people who opt in to get insights on the best working ads or how to run ads. I'm not sure exactly like what it was, but the idea is that businesses will have everything they need to know on how to run effective ad campaigns, whether that's getting access to the best creatives, the best ad copies, metrics, so on and so forth. But the great thing is it was just insight. So it's not like he was spending extra time sitting there consulting these businesses. This is what we call downsell to upsell. It's an effort close. Because think about it, these guys just paid Alex Hormozi $16,000. So him asking them for $3,200 a month is more value for less upfront. And it's an effort close because they just paid him a higher amount. So he would get gyms to agree to, for 12 months, to pay him 3.2K, which by the way, he had a 1% churn. So only 1% of people churned. This allowed him to get the best results. And because he got the best results, it allowed him to solve future problems in a leveraged way. What do we mean by in a leveraged way? Well, look at this. He was selling insights for $3,200, while businesses or agencies are struggling to land clients for $2,000 for their paid ads. Let's say they get a client for $2,000. Now they have to run ads for them. They have to, figure out how to get the creatives from them, go back and forth. Eventually the client leaves after a month or two. Alex was just selling this in a leveraged way. It was just insights, right? That is the power of downselling the upsell. I'm gonna show you how exactly I'm doing this in the consulting agency and in my AI agency. But that's the whole idea, okay? This is downselling the upsell, and Alex was able to collect $1.6 million a month by having 5 gyms pay him $3,200 up front. Again, this is how they do it. Front-end offer solved the main problem. So it solved the main problem, which is their entire offer and their entire foundations is messed up. So he came in, changed their offer to $600 up front, and then basically solved for everything, where all they had to do was basically just close the deal, right? They just get on a call with the client, close the deal. That's their front-end offer. Well, because he did that, it created new problems, which is great. We have this machine, it's working for us, we made a lot of money, but we don't know how to go ahead and continue running these ads, or what type of ads, or what type of angles. So that created a new problem. Well, Alex presented them with the solution, okay, to this new problem, and he solved it in a leveraged way, insights and consulting, which again created MRR and solved future and bigger problems. So this is the flywheel of the DCIS, okay, and we're going to show you exactly how I'm applying this at MadParrot. So at MadParrot, our front-end offer is $18,000, okay, that's our highest package, $18,000, and our DCIS is anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000, and then we have a low entry offer that we're going to introduce anywhere from $20 to $200. But let's just keep an eye on these two. So for our upfront offer, We go into any real estate business and we can literally solve for every single problem that they have. And we charge $18,000 upfront for that. Then we have our downsell. This is $3,500. And that's this right here. This is in the form of monthly recurring revenue. And not to give too much insights on how we're running our operations, but the idea is that because we solve for all of these problems that our clients have, okay, the real estate professionals, there's going to be new problems that happen because of this bigger problem that we solve for them. And what's going to happen is we're going to approach them and say, hey, for $4,000, pay us this much every month, and we'll go ahead and solve this new problem for you, okay? So just like Alex Hormozi here, this created a new problem here. They didn't know how to run the ads. Well, that's exactly what we will do here, which is new problems are going to be created, and we're going to go ahead and solve for them. Now, without telling you what these new problems are, you could probably go ahead and do this and apply this for your own agency. Because the same way that you figured out what are the problems for a dental clinic, the same exact idea, figure out now, if I solve these problems, what new problems will it create, right? So the same exact protocol that you follow here with the operational bottleneck exercise, you would do the same thing with the DSUS, okay? And this allows us to create residual income leveraging the MRR model. And again, this is the same model I applied to my consulting agency. And for the consulting agency, first of all, understanding what problems my ICP would face and how to solve these problems to be able to generate them faster results while at the same charging them more money. So for my consulting agency, I figured out, okay, what is the problems that my clients have? I figured that out, so I charge anywhere from $5,000 to $25,000. And I can charge this much because I get them faster results. I can get them to where they want to be faster than anybody else in the market. So I can charge premium pricing. But because I can do that, that creates new problems. And in there, we have a downsell offer. So right now, our downsell offer is $197 or $2,000 for the whole year, okay? And this pattern shown here is focusing on bottlenecks that your ideal customers would face and literally solving for all the problems. The only way you can create a great DSUS is if you actually make sure that you solve for everything in the front end and charge a lot of money for it. That creates new problems that you can then solve here. And in the case of my consulting agency, this is really just a software problem that clients had, and then we just help them with that at either $97 a month or $2,000 for the whole year. Here's the idea, okay? Rather than focusing on money, which I know most of you coaches out there do, okay, a lot of coaches just focus on money and like they have really shit offers. Like they're just selling information instead of just like trying to focus on money and actually making as much money as you can. Focus on solving problems and bottlenecks, and the money follows, okay? The only reason I can say I can charge up to $25,000 in my consulting business is because we can literally take anybody who is competent enough to use a computer, is competent enough to get on a sales call. We can take anybody and help them build a successful AI business. Why can we do that? Because we've solved for every single problem. We're not giving you a course and telling you go figure something out, go figure something on your own. Number one, we have 7 years of experience doing this myself. And number two, we actually solve for every single problem. You will never be in a position where you don't know what to do. And on top of that, you will have everything that you need built out for you, okay? So that's the DSUS model. And again, we have a video that covers this in detail inside our school community, okay? But now let's go over the step-by-step game plan on the operational bottleneck. So this DSUS is good, but if you don't have your operational bottleneck, if you don't have your friend offer figured out, then there's no point of talking about the DSUS. So you need to make sure that you have your front end offer figured out before you can even consider the DSUS. This framework is going to help you position yourself as a high leverage growth consultant and not just a service provider. You're going to use this to complete the exercise link down below. And if you're interested in having me personally review this, so if you're watching this video and you want me to personally review your operational bottleneck exercise, maybe give you feedback or answer any of the questions that you have, sign up to our free school community and join the weekly call that we have. And I'll be more than happy to review this for you. And of course, answer any other questions that you have. So what is the step-by-step game plan? Step one, you're going to pick your target niche. So over here, you're going to choose a specific type of business that you want to serve. So for example, this could be chiropractors, law firms, e-commerce brands, roofing, home services, dental. Whatever your niche is, choose a niche. The idea here is to go narrow. The more specific, the more relevant your insights will be. The more narrow, the more specific, the more your insights will be. The idea is like go into a niche and dominate that niche. Choose a niche, go into it and dominate. And if you guys want to see a video where we talk about choosing your niche, we have 2 videos in our school community that break everything that you need to know about choosing your niche down in more detail. I highly recommend that you check it out. That's step 1. Step 2 is going to identify 10 to 20 common operational bottleneck scenarios. These are problems, breakdowns, or inefficiencies that business commonly experience. And here you want to ask yourself, where do this business lose money or leads? What slows them down? What frustrates their staff or their clients? What would a business owner complain about? That's the bottlenecks that you're going to figure it out here, okay? You're going to figure out these bottlenecks. And in the case of an example of a dental clinic, it might be missed leads, no-shows, or lots of leads, lost leads between front desk and ops. So step number 3 is to figure out the 10 to 20 operational bottlenecks. You'll also have access to this ChatGPT prompt, which will allow you to come up with that and make it easier for you. Step number 3 is going to be to map out the mechanism to solve the bottleneck. So for each bottleneck, ask yourself, what automation, what tool, what process, or what system can solve this? This is going to be your agency's tool set. So if we go back and look at the example of the dental clinic, here we're talking about installing an AI voice agent. Well, we placed Retail AI and Go High Level as a CRM. Here we talk about no-show appointments. Here we talk about having automated reminders in a VA. So we're going to need Go High Level to do that. We're going to need something like Notion or ClickUp. Here we're talking about having some sort of automation. We have Go High Level and Make. So whatever tool that you are going to use to solve for that mechanism, go ahead and list that here, okay? You're going to list the mechanism that you will use, not the tool yet. You're going to list the mechanism that will solve for this. So here it just talks about the tool, but here it talks about what exactly you're going to do to solve this. So in this case, it's install an AI agent to answer the calls 24/7. And then here it's what is the AI agent going to be? It's going to be Retail and Go High Level. So here's an example. Problem, missed inbound calls. Solution, install AI receptionist, like Go High Level, Retail VAPI, and then CRM logging. Step number 4 is going to be the delivery model. So for each solution, choose how it will be delivered. It'll be either done for you, which is you fully implementing it. It'll be done with you, your guide and support the client while they execute, or it'll be consulting. You advise only, they do the work. This is going to help structure your package and fulfillment model. And lastly, you have the AI supporting tools and AI tech stack, which is this column right here. And this column you can easily figure out based on the mechanism. You just choose which platform or which tool you're going to go ahead and use. For example, the voice agent, there's many voice agent tools, the platforms that you can use. In this case, we'll use Retail, so we have Retail AI here, okay? And once you're done with this, you're going to format the sheet. You don't need to format the sheet, honestly. You already have a sheet here. You can just get access to the same exact sheet. But essentially, you're going to have 4 columns like this. Step number 7 is validate with real-world data. So I would recommend you talk to someone in that niche. If you have friends or people that you know in that niche, talk to them, because they might be able to give you insights that you otherwise wouldn't have. If you don't have anybody, you can research ChatGPT, you can use online forums, you can use reviews, case studies, or really any platform which will give you insights on what's exactly is going there. Now, the things that you need to ask are going to be real pain points, solutions that are relevant, your language matches how they describe these problems. These are things that you're going to either want to ask someone in person or check online or ask ChatGPT. So the idea here is just to validate it with real-world data. Next step is going to be a bonus step, which is turning this into a piece of sales asset. I highly recommend that you guys do so. I won't show you guys now, but I have, you know what, let me go ahead and show you guys. So here you can see this is long-form content that I will be creating for my niche. And the idea is that I took every single operational bottleneck that I mentioned to you, turning this into a sales asset. Every single operational bottleneck, I took that and I turned it into a piece of sales asset. What I can do now is send this to potential customers. Maybe after they booked a call. Maybe if I am DMing them, cold DMs. Maybe if I cold call them and they need a piece of sales asset. The idea is that for every single problem, the operational bottlenecks that we have established in this video, every single operational bottleneck that your niche has, once you fill out the sheet, you can turn that into a piece of sales asset. And that will be very relevant to your customers. For example, if I am talking to a customer and they're talking about they have missed leads, well, guess what? I can go ahead and share with them this piece of sales asset right here that talks about that. Maybe we have someone that is having issues when it comes to VA management. We can share with them this video, so on and so forth. So the idea here is you can turn this into a sales asset. You can use it as a lead magnet, as a sales framework, a VSL structure, or any training exercise for your students or for your team. So I would highly recommend that you turn these into sales assets. And if you want to listen to a video where we talk about the 4 forms of leverage, and highest form being media, and how you can leverage media to essentially grow your business, that video is going to be in our school community as well. So again, the bonus point here is to go ahead and turn this into a sales asset. And this is the example for a dental clinic. We already went ahead and gave you that example. So that is the end of this video. Every document that I shared with you here is going to be linked in our school community. So go ahead and get access to that.